City, still messing with Melvin. That's that King Mel Mustang Shelby 500. That ain't the fake one. That's the real deal. That's the GT. And that's his vet. And so, bottom line of it is, man, just because you get yourself, in trouble, that don't mean that when you get out, you can't be a success. So, Melvin does exotic car rentals, so you're gonna hear a lot about that as we do the show. So, we looking forward to a lot of my nephew's videos. Some of them are quite powerful, and some more. So, I appreciate you logging on, share, comment. We want to hear from you and what you have to say. All right, peace out.
What you know about doing hard time in the lockup? No appeal and your baby mama knocked up. You only win 105 and you gotta survive. You better have some hands to get knotted up. Seeing friends turn to foes, you can't trust nobody. Every day is a test and you gotta have heart. And you gotta be smart and you can't be a mark and a blame your heart.
Welcome to TubbsTV.
Go.
Hey YouTube, welcome to TubbsTV, where we talk about things in the streets, prisons, a lot of prison stories that we might have to discuss, a lot of things that we've been through in our lifetime, others been through in their lifetime. I got my nephew, Melvin. You'll be hearing about Melvin a lot because we was, unfortunately, we was locked up for a long time and we went through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, but never really got to talk to Melvin about why he ended up doing his entire day-for-day time on the charge that he got, and he ended up doing more time. So maybe when he shares some insight about his experience, maybe he can help you so you can avoid that same pitfall. So Melvin, what happened, man? I know that when we were together, before you got transferred, you had 10 years, and I thought you was going home. I said, man, Melvin gone. And come to find out, you end up doing day for day on that 10 years and then some. So what was up with that?
I caught an assault charge. They gave me 2 consecutive. So they 12 me on the 10, made me do 50% of the 2 that I caught. So I ended up doing 11. And I paroled on 1.
So, okay. So what was the circumstances behind how you catch an assault in prison?
I went when I was really, really young. I was very, very young. I was very, very thin. All I did was play sports and work out. So my uncle was there. My uncle was a very high-profile person there. So a lot of people, when they go to prison, they team up with or they get under people such as like it may be a Muslim community. Somebody might not even be a Muslim, but because the Muslims are strong there, they want to become one all of a sudden. But they doing that for, ulterior motives, just to protect themselves or whatever. So it's understandable that someone would think that, because somebody could be like, that's my brother, but they really ain't brothers, you know what I'm saying? They just saying that because, this guy's strong, then make you think twice about messing with this person. So, but that was my blood uncle, honestly. So anyway, he ended up getting transferred because of a gang fight or whatever. So, like I said, I was heavy into sports, so we in a game, and somebody that was blood, you know what I'm saying, that never said, I never had a problem, never said nothing to him, you know what I'm saying, never had an issue beforehand. We was playing we was in a league basketball game, so we playing, and when I play, I talk a little bit, but nothing personal, out of all the options, they had, why would they put you on me? We all see this ain't working, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
Right.
So anyway, I was like maybe 5'9" at the time, of 5'8", you know what I'm saying? I'm 5'10" now. So at the time I was probably 5'8", probably 130, 40 pounds. Crazy, but true. So this guy was 6'2". I was probably 18, maybe 19. So he was at least 10 years older than me. So he was at least 28, 29. He had been in there maybe 8 or 9 years already. So anyway, this is who's holding me. So he too slow for me, for real. But they end up winning the game. So he at the free throw, I fouled him to stop the clock or whatever. He about to shoot his free throws, and he paused for a second. You know how people pause and they take a second and look at the goal, and then But instead of him doing that, he paused and said, "Man, y'all some bitches for no reason." So I said, I was right there at the line, the line where you stand at. I'm like, you're not talking to me, He said, "Man, I'm talking to you." And that was our center. He pointed at our center was like 6'6". He said, "I'm talking to you." Went to the power forward. "I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to you." And I was the last "and." And I'm like, "Man, you ain't again. You not talking." He said, "Nigga, I'll beat you." In the middle of him saying that, I had a runner start from that 2 steps, and I hit him as hard as I could. Wow! So I hit him in his eye. As soon as he covered his eye that I hit, blood just started coming down his eye. Coming down his his hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not really knowing the damage or what really happened to him. I just knew. I knew I was gonna be in a hell of a fight. So, and I knew we was gonna fight. So it wasn't no use in waiting or none of that. So that's how you handle things. So, and I knew I had to hit him as hard as I could because he was so much bigger than me. However, I didn't expect for him not to recover. I didn't think one punch would do it. So anyway, I only hit him one time. I never got to hit him again because his team cowered him and everybody cleared from the stands. So it was like a pandemonium for real. It was pandemonium. It was people everywhere.
Yeah.
In a prison. This is a prison. So it was men everywhere.
Yeah.
So not guards, just inmates. So later they came. So they came, locked me up or whatever. So in there, you get out, you go to the hole, you get out the next day. So I'm preparing. I'm knowing I'm going to have to fight again. I know he going to want to, So, but my hand has swelled up like 3 times the normal size. So I couldn't even, I couldn't ball my fist no more. Yeah. But I kept, all day I'm working it because I know I'm going to get out. I know, all you got to do is sign the papers, you'll get out. So, and I know he going to get out, you know what I'm saying? But so I'm trying to buy they give you a sheet of pills. That's for everything. You got a cold, they give you these pills. You got a headache, they give you these pills. You hurt yourself, whatever. You break a bone, you get these same pills they call ibuprofen, 600s or 800s. So I think I had some 800s because I had prior knee injuries and different things in there. So I was taking the pills every 4 hours waiting for my court date. Basically, it's a team date. You see the team or whatever, and they say, "All right, you can get out. You gonna go to the same house, whatever." So time come for me to go, you know what I'm saying? They don't even come to my cell or nothing. Then they come give me a little sheet saying that they pushed it back. Right. So, and then they changed my charge from a fist fight, which was a number 25, if I remember correctly, to a number 2, which is a major assault. And then number 1 is murder. So they gave me the next step for 1 punch, and this dude was bullying me because I guess he thought I was under my uncle's umbrella and whatnot, and I don't know what and the size difference, I guess. But anyway,
how big was he?
He was sick, and I know all these stats accurately because they filed charges against me. So I got his whole sheet as well as mine. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I was 5'8" at the time. Like I was probably like we'll say 145. Okay. He was 6'2", 210. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he was 10 years older than me. I had one case. This man had 30, literally, and I'm not exaggerating, 30 of them, but they always ran concurrent. He had 30 different charges of robbery, but they all were in one case, ran concurrent. So they ended up giving me 2 years on top of my 10. I had to go to court. He wouldn't testify, you know what I'm saying, or nothing like that.
So even though he wouldn't testify, they still end up giving you some time.
Yeah, I play it out because if they would have took me to trial, even without his cooperation, they had a female rec officer that just was overseeing the games. Uh-huh. And her statement was, she didn't hear none of the talk and none of that. She just seen me take them 2 steps and punch him. You know what I'm saying? So her testimony was not in my favor. So, of course, if they was offering me 2, had I not took 2, they probably would have gave me probably another 6-7 years for 1 punch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So and for a long time I was debating. If I was gonna do that, it was a hard time because I was by myself. I had to figure out what I was gonna do. But in the end, I ended up pleading it. So
yeah, that's tough. I know that from experience, that it's easy to catch another case, while you in there. You could get caught up in drugs, you could get caught up in gambling, and of course, as easy it is, you could get caught up in a fight. I remember a time, man, we was on the basketball court, and I don't remember all the details, man, because I'm getting older now. But I think you might remember this one particular time we played every day, played thousands, probably literally thousands of games. But this particular night, we locked in the gym, and I guess some guy was frustrated because you was dominating him on the court, and that does get frustrating if somebody's beating you like that. And so he's fouling, and because he can't figure out no other way to stop you, and I end up getting into it, and he didn't know, I was your uncle, nothing. So he was, I guess he thought it was just gonna be like a one-on-one fight. And even though it was a one-on-one fight, when you're in prison, what's that saying they say? All is fair in love and war. So even though I think y'all squared up, and you remember the particular time I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember all my altercations.
Y'all squared up or whatever, you hit the dude or whatever. And I come up from behind like I'm trying to break it up. But even though I'm yelling, yeah, break it up, I grab the guy, go to the ground. I mean, I'm yelling in my mind, yeah, break it up, but I'm putting a boot on him at the same time. But I don't know. What was your version of that?
No, I remember exactly. I remember I didn't want to fight that day because I had a visit coming. I knew I had a visit, and I had never had a visit, so I was trying to do everything I could not to get into trouble or whatever, or have any write-ups or none of that. So I remember we was playing, we was balling or whatever, of course, talking, because and in this case, I don't even think I initiated the talk. I think he was saying I'm lucky or something. And of course, I responded or whatever. So this guy he did want to foul and all that, and I ain't with all that. So, I still was scoring, and I began to do the stuff back. So he swung on me. So at that point, I couldn't go back. I couldn't. It was nothing. My hand was forced. It was nothing I could do. Uh-huh. So I remember you was on the sideline. I remember that. I remember we was locked in the gym because it was at night. And I remember once he swung on me, I took him. That was like one of my quickest fights ever. I was on top of him for like within 5 seconds probably, and I remember I was punching him, and I remember you was like breaking it up, and you was grabbing me off of him because the guard was coming, and in the process of you doing that, you was I guess kicking him kicking him as you was grabbing me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I remember that.
So the bottom line is, you get in prison, you don't never know who is with who. You don't know if a person got a family member in there or a close partner in there or uncle or whatever. When you get in there, you got to be careful who you get into it with, because it could escalate. It could go from 0 to 100 just real quick in a matter of seconds, and you can find yourself just like Melvin did, starting off with one charge and a 10-year bid, and ended up doing every day for day on that 10-year bid, and then get in another case and doing half the time on that. So, the purpose of this is to not glorify anything about prison. It's just to educate you on what to look for, because you could easily get yourself caught up in there. And what if he would have hit him and the guy would have fell back and died? I remember when I got a kite and somebody told me that you knocked his eye out, but I think you dislocated his retina when you punched that guy that time.
Yeah, I hit him as hard as I could, and I did that partly because I knew, I knew he was a good fighter, and I knew it was a reputation, but he had took it to a point where I couldn't walk away from that, you know what I'm saying? So I hit him as hard as I could because I knew, and I didn't plan on getting off of him. Once I hit him the one time, I was just going to stay on him until whatever happened. But I didn't expect for one punch to do that. I ain't never hit nobody that hard.
Yeah. So again, you get yourself in these situations. Could have accidentally killed the guy. Then you're sitting in there with manslaughter or something that you didn't mean for it to happen, or a guy could accidentally end up hurting or maiming or killing you. So having said that, Melvin, I appreciate you coming on TubbsTV, and you won't hear a lot about Melvin because, man, I got so many good and bad stories to tell. Situations that we that was kind of precarious. We had to get ourselves in and out of. But having said that, I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. We got some more things that videos that we want you to see. We're gonna feature Melvin on a lot more videos because he's a very successful entrepreneur now that he's home. And so purpose of those videos is going to be how you can change your life around and be a success, once you get out of prison. So, all right, thank you and peace out.